guilty of crime.
Hello, everybody. What's up? I'm Jay with Guilty of Crime, and we're back. How's everybody doing today? Come on in. Happy Friday. I know you guys can be anywhere else, but you're here. What's up, Chris? Big Papa, like Foxy says, Papa Sterns. What is up, Deb? Deb, I see you. I'm literally chatting with you as I'm on here. I can see a little dots. So let's get started today. Now, obviously, I've been covering other cases that need attention right now, but I do feel like we have things that have been left unsaid on my part, and even I'm giving Chris and Deb an opportunity to say whatever they want now that they can, because what they said before was exactly how they feel now. And then as soon as we had Mr. Chris on here, and I thought we had a fantastic chat, video comes out from a year and a half ago, and we got Chris and Deb saying things in shock, finding the torso and realizing that Maddie's no longer with us. What's up, Carly? Choo choo. Thank you for the 279 super what is that? A super chat. Dahlia, thank you for the super chat. Chris, thank you for becoming a member, and I gifted 10 memberships right out of the gate. All right, so a lot of things have happened, and we've been covering a lot of other cases that need attention now. So what I'm going to say first of all, guys, is we're here for Maddie. So come on in, hit the like button, subscribe, and you all have memberships because today is a members only chat, which means that we're not going to have a bunch of knuckleheads coming in here and talking nonsense. All right. So come on in, hit the like button. Even if you're not in chat, let us know who's here in the algorithm. And I guarantee you this video is going to get a lot of attention because it's controversial. And it's not because I want it to be controversial. It is because we've made so much progress here on Guilty of Crime with the Stephan Sterns case, with Justice for Maddie, and in talking to Chris and Deborah Sterns. A lot has changed. A lot has changed in a year and a half. And when we have this conversation that I feel we're making good progress, then more FOIAs come out and we go 10 steps back, and I see nasty, nasty comments on not only Plunder's videos, but people coming into my chat saying nasty, nasty stuff and nasty comments. I can't believe you talked to Deb and Chris Sterns. Did you hear what they said on Plunder? I sure did. I've heard everything even before Plunder. I already knew about all that, but boy, have the tides changed. People grow, people learn, people either make a mistake or they learn from their mistake, or they just purely learn something new and things happen. Yeah, nasty people on the internet. And that's why today we're here for Justice for Madeline Soto and to talk about the number one question, and I'll show you in a bit. And the number one questions are the Sterns responsible for raising a monster? And they said that many different ways, a question and answer for the Sterns parents. All right. I don't even field all those questions. It's not my chat. Plunder. I didn't put that out, and I didn't even watch it enough because once I saw Deb being upset and crying, that's not entertainment for me. So today we're gonna go over the Plunder video just in pieces. The Plunder video that came out recently that says Stephan Sterns' mom says, "I'm wondering if the girl got pregnant," and then Plunder calls out that Deb calls her a twit. All right, so we've got that going on today, and I have the wrong one. I'm sorry. This is the one where Stephan Sterns. It says Stephan Sterns' mom calls me a crazy ass woman. Plunder. So we're gonna talk about that and how much things have changed and how we've all grown, and just some of the comments, the stuff that's in there is just it's outrageous, especially when you hold it to in the beginning of the case. And I have a lot to talk about as far as the in the beginning of the case, things that are said versus now. Thank you, Foxy, for the $2 Papa Sterns and Big Deb in the house. And then Chrissy, love your channel, Jay, to Deb and Chris. Hello. All right. So it's wild that I just don't feel like we've answered all the questions, and for people to realize that we've grown. All of us have grown since the beginning of the case. All right. So yeah, we're talking about I can't read Deb's, I can't read your text right this minute, Deb, but I will. And I won't read it out loud. Don't worry. All right, let me welcome everybody. Dahlia, thank you for the super chat. Crystal, what's up? Truthfinder 321, good to see you. And anybody else that's riding the guilty of crime chain with a super chat, super sticker, all that stuff. All right. So this has been weighing on my mind when we've made so much progress, and then a video comes out of a FOIA from a year and a half ago, and we all seem to head backwards. We head backwards. All right. Now let's move forward and say Stephan Sterns' new home is ACI, or Appalachia Correction Institution, in the East Unit. Next week, I'm going to do an episode about the ACI Institute and how terrible it is. That's where Stephan Sterns will be spending the rest of his life, guys. All right. So, I mean, I've got all kinds of articles and letters and news letters from years ago that talk about the violent prison, the inmates, the killings, the escapes, the attacks. It's just a terrible, terrible place to be, and that's where Stephan Sterns is landed himself for the abuse and the taking of Maddie's life, whether it was intentional or accidental. We may never know. It depends if Stephan wants to talk about it or tell his parents. All right, so that's out of our control. Patricia says, I've seen kids have horrible behavior as well as horrible things, and they had the best parents in the world. And I've seen the best parents in the world with kids that are terrible and they do awful things. And absolutely, since this is a huge episode today on growth, love, learn, grow. This is a huge growth period that has been happening throughout the case. All right. What's up, Linda? Good to see you. Lisa, Mom Shack. I remember when you first came across your channel, you had started covering Maddie. Rest in peace. I just lost my hubby. Jay and everyone made me feel so welcome. Well, welcome. You're always welcome here. Much love, Guilty of Crime family. If you ever need something, reach out. We got the best mods, always doing the most. And you can always email me, guiltyofcrimebyj@gmail.com. All right. So listen, it's totally out of my control what other channels put and how people feel that they're entertained. It does not entertain me to see Deb being upset about finding a torso when I already talked to her about that several times. And of course she didn't want to see that, or she didn't want any of this to come to fruition, and it did. So I bring you to take a look at this episode that kind of blew up the internet and was brought to my attention by you and even Deb, or actually I can't say Chris. I haven't talked much to him about it, but his question for all of you, that was the number one question that needed to be answered. Are the Sterns responsible for raising a monster? Okay, so that's the huge question of the day, and we're going to try to get into that, answer that, and talk about growth. Now, if you look at Plunder's video, it's 2 hours and 5 minutes. Obviously, we're not going to watch that. Stephan Sterns' mom calls me a crazy ass woman, twit 4/11/24. Now, this is a year and 4 months ago. Audio interview, Maddie, consensual. And I do want you guys to hear the growth that happened even with Plunder. I was very surprised that right after she states that Deb called her a twit, which, Deb, I still think that you stand on that. I think you still stand on the fact that you call her Blunder and all the other names, whatever. But I gotta say, I was surprised that after it came out of her mouth about calling her a twit, that she did recall that that times have changed. And I'm gonna play that. Things have changed. And not only that, I do have to address the whole the whole statement that Deb was saying. And she was, you guys will see, when Deb was in a in a panic over Maddie being missing, finding a torso. Deb says in this video, I think it's consensual because Maddie puts her head on his shoulder, and when I see Maddie and Stephan, she's very close to Stephan and cuddling and hugging and sleeping. So listen, at that time, Deb, I didn't know the word grooming either. I didn't realize that Maddie was so heavily groomed, not only by Stephan, but by Jen allowing that to happen. So we've learned new words and new ways. And I even caught myself at the beginning of this case when I had the theory about Madeline Soto and her being in love, or thinking that she was in love with Stephan Sterns. Now, I know that it's not consensual, but when we saw the coins and she told her mom, I need to get these coins, Stephan, I need to get the baby coins because I want more time with Stephan, or whatever it was for, in her mind, she was convinced / groomed that she wanted to talk to Stephan daily, and he wanted to talk to her. Now, Liv Wade, I knew what Deb meant, and I knew what I meant when I told you guys. I said, I think Maddie thought she was in love with Stephan and that her and Stephan were going to run off together. That's what I gathered from the pregnancy coins. Now, I corrected myself immediately and said she can't be in love with him because she was way too young when the abuse started and it's not consensual. But I wasn't having a panic attack, and police didn't just come to my house telling me that they found a little girl's body that is like a granddaughter to Deb. All right. So thank you. I'm so glad Liv and the people on my channel that give grace when it's deserved do so. But I'm going to actually show you, before I start the video, I'm going to show you the grace that wasn't given on this video and to myself. People flooded my channel with questions of the last video that had Chris on it. They flooded me and said, how can you talk to those parents? Did you hear what Deb said about Maddie? She said, oh, it's consensual. And I'll show you in the notes real quick. Can't wait for Papa to enlighten us as well. Yes. Agree. All right, so I'm going to take a look at this real quick. This came out, let's see how many days ago, and I haven't been able to respond. 7 days ago, I've been busy covering cases, so now we're back to it. So let's take a look. First of all, I think that's funny as hell, Deb, that you called her a crazy-ass twit, and she labeled that. Like I told you, a content creator will always take the opportunity to use any messages or comments that you send about them. They use that as content. They use it as content. And instead of directing you, commenting to you or replying to you directly, they'll run and they'll make content out of it. I don't do that. I won't do that. I'll never go make content out of something that you email me. But I'm going to tell you that 90% of the content creators do that. And I've emailed content creators that will not answer me back, but they'll go to make a video about me and they show my email that I messaged them, but they won't directly comment. So that being said, I say to Deb and Chris, don't message those people. Don't leave a comment in their chat. They don't even care what you're saying. They're just going to make content out of it, and including any of you that are content creators. Now, Firestorm, I'm absolutely continuing to cover the baby Emmanuel Haro case. I've got multiple episodes, but today, are the Sterns responsible for raising a monster? Q&A for the parents of Stephan Sterns. But I will continue that, and thank you for the $1.99 super chat. All right, trying to make something out of the video that just wasn't there. Deb looked in shocked and acted accordingly. Agreed. Parents can do so much. Children become adults. It's out of our control. What's up, Kathy? All right, so let me just take a look at this real quick, and then we'll actually get into some of it, and we'll go back and forth. So it drove me nuts not being able to respond to this. All right. So I gotta say I was pleasantly surprised by Plunder, what she says in the video. But when you look at the comments, minors can't consent. What the hell's wrong with this lady? Deborah's absolutely sick. This is consensual. She was barely 13. Deborah, there's no such thing as consent when you're 13. I can't believe she said it was consensual. Mind-boggling. Every comment. His mom sounded more upset when she found a fake torso than when she found Maddie's body. And on and on and on, guys. He started abusing her at 8, probably sooner. No child can be consensual. Deb, we know you didn't mean that. It was consensual between them. She was groomed. All right? The audacity of a woman who raised a monster throwing shade on others. Oh my goodness. That woman has some nerve to call someone out reporting facts about her son while dismissing the innocent little girl, brutally red-rummed and beyond vile. All right, this one, Stephan's one sick individual, and his mother is just nuts. She's more disgusted with the torso than the abuse. All right, you guys see what I'm getting at, right? You see that almost 1,000 of the 1,000 messages that are there are about Deb. And one comment that she made while in the middle of probably having a freaking panic attack, you get a bunch of people that just spout off that shit. All right. So yes, come on in, smash that like. Deb, much love to you as I read those. I'm glad you're a good sport and you could take it, because they came over and rushed my video as well and told me how sick it was to talk to people like that. Well, here's my response. My response is, you try being in that situation without the knowledge of everything and tell me how you act. All right. Hit the like. Thank you, Angel Light. Marissa says, I know families where one kid is always in trouble, the other are fine. We don't control our children when they're adults. With the big mouth, I'd never want to even be on body cam. Exactly. And especially almost a year and a half later, after we've been way beyond that. All right. So that's where we go. Chris says, I was in total shock. I was speaking with the police with the impression we were still dealing with a missing person. Exactly. And I am proud that Plunder did admit that you guys have, and she's heard everybody moving on from that. So yeah, we're going to debunk the junk that comes out and knowing what we know now. All right. And yes, I've heard the whole torso story from Deb herself, that I don't need to watch it again. I don't need to see someone upset and crying. That doesn't entertain me. All right. Not at all. Not even a little bit. Sassy Theory, thank you for becoming a new member and supporting the Guilty of Crime channel. Yeah, it was 2 days later the charges came out. Again, we're not going to play the whole thing, but I just want to show you this and let you hear what's going on, and then I'll be able to get into what else I need to say.
Upset. So that was the 28th body cam video. There were 2 of those, so I can upload those raw on my Patreon for those who want to get the raw footage. But yeah, I did edit it up last night into like a small 26-minute.
All right, so we're just going to listen to maybe at the most like 10 minutes of it that tells you what happened here, and hearing Paula from Plunder, and I dropped a link in chat, what she has to say about the Sterns. Yeah, snarky rhubarb. All right, let's listen up for a bit. You guys go subscribe to Plunder if you haven't already. We're not playing the whole video. I'm just making a point and showing you what's going on here.
Video you guys can watch without all the dead space. Yes. But I know some people love the raw footage, so that's why I upload a lot of it over there. So, okay, we have those 2 body cams at Deb's house. And then we have another February 28th body cam,
I know.
which basically there's nothing on there. It was taken at the storage unit facility.
And again, we're not listening to the whole thing, but we're just getting an idea of the dates and what exactly did happen. Buster says, I'm a big supporter of Deb and Chris. There are a lot of parents out there that deserve the blame, like the laundries, right? And the parents who did everything they could, but Stephan Sterns made his own decisions. And yes, Deb, I could not watch this because I wanted to give you a big bear hug as well. I know I would have to get a step stool to give you a big hug, but I was willing to get a step stool to give you a big hug. Yes, she is. She really is. But you know, we all have our things. We all have our things.
Down there, cops weren't sure if Stephan had visited that facility or not. So a lot of that visual, I'm just going to put under the audio of some audio interviews.
Number 43 over 10. Thank you, Josh. You do your thing. All right, I appreciate you.
So now the audio interviews, now one of them is from March 1st.
March 1st, 2024. That's a year and 5 months ago. Boy, how things have changed in a year and 5 months. And yes, Deb, like I said, I didn't even watch that part. I did not want to watch that part. I just went past it. I'm not going to play it. I understand. You were alone, terrified. The dogs were on high alert. You were already, it was a very bad night. Well, Deb's probably at least a foot taller than me. I'm only 4'11", and I'm assuming Deb's probably like 5'10". Oh, you're only 5'6"? I thought you were taller than that. When I see those giant poodles, well, okay. All right, then there you go. I'll reach up, you reach down. It's not that Deb's tall, it's that I'm short, all right? All right, let's keep going.
Today's date is March 1st, at 17:40 p.m. Myself, Detective St. Jean,
Yes.
Detective Audit
Yes.
in reference to an agency assist with Orange County.
You and your wife again too about it. Can I ever Oh no, we were hoping to talk with you and your wife again the other day.
We're going to chat about that real quick since I haven't given my comment.
Yes, thank God. And again, this was a 2-hour and 5-minute video, and 1,000 comments only commented on this small little 5-minute clip. I didn't see anyone that said, man, I sympathize with those poor parents. They had no idea they were blindsided. None of that. It's just all hatred. I'm like, man, I cannot let this, like, without my 2 cents anyway. Hey, I don't need to change anyone's mind, but I need you guys to know where I stand on this.
Commentary yet. I just gave it to you guys pretty much straight in one of my previous videos, so you could just hear it first. But now we can talk about it together. March 1st, unfortunately, that was the day. It was a Friday. Maddie was found.
Yep.
It's crazy that these officers were at Deb and Chris's home interviewing them when Chris gets a call from Orange County Sheriff's Office an officer letting him know that Maddie was found, recovered. So we get to hear their reaction. And then after we listen to these snippets, we'll go over the entire April 11th, 2024 interview. This one, oh my goodness, I had to pray over this one.
I had to pray.
Stuff that's on here goes back to 2011.
To 2011?
I wasn't happy to see that.
No.
You know, if she felt like she was being abused, Of course, she was being abused because she's not old enough to consent. But other than that, I think she was consensual.
And you just said that. You literally just said that she can't consent. But then again, all this stuff is going on. And you said, other than that, I think she was consensual, meaning that she showed love for Stephan. She talked on the phone with him all the time. She was constantly about Stephan. All of her friends say that. And Deb and Chris wouldn't know any different than that. And that's what Deb's saying. And I said that, and I had to smack myself in the middle of a stream when I said I feel like Maddie thought she was in love with Stephan and back and forth. But that could never happen because she was a minor. So anyway, that's a big part. And I'm glad what Plunder says, but listen up here. That one part got 1,000 comments.
Only because of the way that she would snuggle up to him and rub him on the shoulder.
Yeah. I mean,
Maybe she did just get used to it. I don't know.
Deb, she can be.
Just getting used to it means grooming. And that's for any of you out there. Any of you, yes. And I totally get the affection, the hugging, the cuddling, all that stuff. And I did not know the term groom before I started on this channel. I had no idea what any of that meant or the signs of it or the years that it can happen. I just didn't know about it. All right. And Chris says the most important thing we can tell you is that you can do everything right as parents and still have no control over your choices your adult makes in secret. And the reason I empathize with the Sterns, Chris, Deb, is because that happened to my mom twice with my brother and my nephew. Me, I don't even have parking tickets. I don't have any record, none of that. I've done nothing except support my family that has gotten into trouble. And so, yes, my mom's had to deal with that. Would I attack somebody if they talked about my mom like that? Oh, yes, I would, even at all 4 feet 11. All right, let's listen to what she says.
Pretty infuriating with some of the stuff she says. And still, I'm trying to understand her, as a mama bear, that aspect coming out of her instinct to protect Stephan, her son. But, not at the expense of Maddie getting her justice. Now, mind you, the Sterns, as I understand it, they do not feel this way anymore.
All right. So again, CN red flags. You see, this is where we have difference in opinion. I don't know if you're trying to talk about the Sterns, but they turned over the evidence that they had. And we're just talking about them not understanding what that means. So hopefully we can change your mind. And also they're in chat. So let's not talk about the parents like that. We're on a members only. And, if you don't like them, you got to be a little bit more. Let's not call the parents that. I know what you're saying, but please. All right. I hope that you're not talking about the Sterns.
Their son was lying to them a lot, misdirecting them, blaming other people. So it's no wonder that initially they felt differently. So listen to this with those caveats in mind. But at one point, I still can't. Something Deb says, something she says about Maddie, it's so heartbreaking. She's saying, we'll get to it, but she's kind of inferring. She's saying, okay, I know the girl couldn't consent. She wasn't old enough to consent, but the way she was like rubbing his shoulders and everything and snuggling up to him, it's like it was consensual.
But that's not how she said it at all either. So it's interesting how you can watch it. Everybody can watch a video. We can watch the same video. And I did not hear anything of that sort. I did not hear that. Context is king, guys. Remember that. All right. And thank you more for the $5 super chat. Yeah, Jennifer Soto put that child in a bed with a grown man over and over and over and over, and then sent her to room number 4 with lube and a tripod and a 9mm. All right. Yeah, such a good Christian Plunder. It's wild to watch this video and see how different you said that and how it was translated. Not the same.
Very infuriating, especially, trigger alerts for survivors out there. Deb is looking to understand her son's warped behavior. In some ways, she's making a lot of excuses for him, but it's a journey. In other ways, they really did do the right thing. Deb and Chris turned over certain jump drives, hard drives to the police. That's what the April 11th interview is about. The cop is coming there to collect this stuff that other entities had not collected. You know, Chris let them know. I think he let Kissimmee know. He said March 19th, there's this stuff Stephan left down here. And when we get to the point where Chris is like, I didn't really look at what was on here. I just saw like the thumbnails and the file name descriptions. You know, some stuff I did like blur out when they're talking about CP, as they call it, or CSAM.
And again, this whole case is terrible. And I understand where people are coming from. I know where their emotions come from. But let's call it what it is. Let's talk about Jen Soto's responsibility. And Norma, you're right. No other adults said anything about Maddie being abused. Nobody did anything. Everybody that was around her didn't do a thing. I just don't understand how a small clip gets interpreted to this big thing that didn't even happen. It's just wild. And it's happened to me before, obviously, on the channel. Somebody will take 5 words that I say and turn it into nothing. I also have a document here that I want to talk about before we get on with anything about why they're speaking out. I have a whole document that I want to show you guys because I haven't got to go over it yet. And it's not me making excuses for anybody. It's me showing you how things are versus how things have been misconstrued. It's just so weird.
But they talked about, oh, I saw the name, Layla, 5 years old. I mean, that just made my heart drop. So anyway, let's get through this. Let's talk first about this February 28th, 2024 body cam video. Deborah's really upset. Some people are like, is she faking or what? She sounds very upset. You know, they're looking for Maddie. Prior to this, supposedly she was in the woods somewhere calling out Maddie's name. That's the body cam video I wanted to see. When those officers arrived, supposedly Deb was like calling out Maddie, like seeing if she was in the woods or somewhere.
So we're just going to listen for a few more minutes and then we're going to go over the documents that I have and we're going to talk about all of that. If you watched this on your own and you have the same narrative that everybody's pushing in their chat, that's fine. I'm just hoping that one person will see this and look at the context and how the context is much different than the salaciousness that's being offered here. It's not the same at all. All right, this is a crazy time as well.
I didn't hear that part unless it's been redacted or whatever, unless it was that, pretty female officer, the one we see her on camera. I don't know if we see her body cam perspective ever, but they're asking her, how long have you been basically sitting on this house? And she says something like 7 minutes or whatever.
And here's the thing. I guess a reason I want to speak out as well, Deb, is because I got to tell you, so many more documents and FOIAs are going to come out. As a matter of fact, everybody's paying for them right now. People are jumping to get the FOIAs. So every time a document comes out from 1.5 years ago, is that what's going to happen to them? Are they going to get these nasty messages where all of a sudden everyone wants to attack them again? Is their house going to be compromised, their address? And CN, my apologies, I don't blame the parents. Thank you for taking the time to explain and put what they said in context. I do blame Jen Soto, and thank you. Thank you for being respectful. I don't think I can change anyone's mind. I just want you to understand what I'm saying. All right. And that's all I'm trying to do today. I saw the file name. Oh, really? Hold on. I can't. YouTube has been crazy. So Chris says he saw the file name that was descriptive enough. I wonder what that said. And yes, Deb, you were doxxed 3 times. One of the times being in the new place. Can you imagine moving your whole life, guys? And then a YouTube creator puts out a new video with your new address that you just packed up and moved from, lost a bunch of money, barely making it, and now your new address is out again? I can't imagine that. That's terrible. All right. So got a little bit more and then I'm going to go over the document.
Hey, what's up?
So what do you guys know?
Huh?
What do you guys know?
I just know what Commander Myers said. They have the 1017 in custody in Orlando. Supposedly we're supposed to come here and interview the mother.
Okay.
See if we can do a protective sweep of the house and maybe ask her questions about if Stephan had access to the storage units today.
All right. Well, that's his car. that car comes back to him.
Okay.
So the other vehicle comes back to Dad, and then Mom is in the house. We just saw her in the front door, and she was out earlier when we were driving by.
Okay.
So
how long have you guys?
Let me know in chat if you guys have seen this. If you guys, I mean, I'm sure the day it came out, everybody jumped over there. Everybody jumped over there. Let me know in chat. Just hit a 1 in chat if you've seen this. I'm gonna watch a couple more minutes and then we're gonna move on. But how many people saw it? 1 if you saw it, 2 if you haven't.
7-10 minutes.
Oh. So maybe her camera footage was the one that caught Deb, acting a fool and calling Maddie out in the woods or something, but I haven't seen that yet. Deb is really upset. She tells them she found an F torso, in Stephan's room and another little toy too. And those photos I did not put up here on YouTube. I didn't see the one toy she mentions, but I did see the torso and it's silicone. The cop has to verify, wait, what are you talking about? Is she here? He's like basically asking, did you find Maddie? Or she clarifies it's a silicone torso. Whew, she's like, you don't know what I found.
What?
Okay.
Scared the living shit out of me.
That's the extent of it.
All right, we don't need to watch this part, guys. I'm not here to just make Deb go through this again. I'll drop the link in chat. I see a lot of you guys didn't see it. So there's the link. You guys can go over and watch that on Plunder with that link. She's got a bunch of stuff coming out. Remember, we're here for Maddie. And now I'm going to get into, I only saw part of it too. And that's all I needed to see. Once I saw Deb being upset and all this stuff, I'm like, I don't need to watch that. It's not entertaining. And then I reached out to Deb and said, Deb, in case you haven't seen it yet, there's some new stuff out there. It's pretty bad. You can watch it or not, but just letting you know before, people start attacking again. What's up, Sherry? How you doing? All right. Now let's take a look at, and I'll agree with some of the things in the beginning. I definitely felt like there were excuses, but I think the excuses were that of a parent not understanding the gravity of what happened. And I think there was, I'm not going to lie and say that there were no excuses. Yeah, they did. They called you a freaking drama queen, and that was not drama. That was how you felt. That was you having a panic attack or whatever was going on with everything happening. The torso, finding out Maddie was no longer with us. There's a lot. Everyone calls me Bex. What's up, Bex? Welcome to the Crime Crew family. Yeah, it's awful. I'm not going to watch that, but I do want to go through some of these things with you, which I haven't got to go over yet. So I'm happy to do that now. 1 second. And what's better on a Friday than to go over this and have Deb and Chris here, and then I can call Chris after, and he can straighten things up. All right. How does criticize? I don't know. And that's the thing, is like, I want to be better than that too, because I'm sure there's many cases where I do blast people's parents, but I have to remember to make sure that I see all sides. Right. All right. So as long as you say something nicely, we're good. Deb blamed Maddie for blurring the lines, and that's AC Frere. That's why I think you just missed the beginning of what we talked about. So maybe you can go back and chat. And I didn't realize that those blurred lines was actually called grooming. So that type of blaming others. Hopefully you can go back and watch context is king. All right. Context is king. And we do all want justice for Maddie. So yeah, come on in, hit that like, be respectful, and you're good. All right, so I'm going to share these documents with you real quick. I didn't need to use these documents before because Chris was so kind to let me call him on the phone and talk to you guys. So I'm going to gloss over this stuff. All right, this was after the live interview. Why are you speaking out now? And that's them now and previously. So now that Stephan has accepted his plea deal, and we know his fate, we feel compelled to address questions that continue to arise, including right now. All right. There was no magic bullet defense. His legal strategy was primarily built on challenging the constitutionality of the phone search, which they viewed as technicality rather than a substantive defense for the serious crimes he committed. So once the Sterns realized that the data from the phone was coming in, that was it. That was his strategy. So we want to be clear. Stephan was caught engaging in heinous offenses that had been occurring for far too long. And this is Chris's response. He deserves the punishment he received, and there will be forgiveness from us for his actions. It says there will never, listen, this Chris Stearns said, he deserves the punishment he received, and there will never be forgiveness from us for his actions. The evidence was overwhelming, and no legal technicality could change the fundamental reality of what he did, meaning Stephan Sterns. We are now choosing to distance ourselves because we need to move forward with our lives. For years, Stephan manipulated and deceived us. We have made all of the financial and emotional investment in him that we are willing or able to make. At our age, we must focus on what little time we have left rather than continuing to be drawn into his web of lies and manipulation. The practical reality in this will be that he's incarcerated at the facility too far for us to visit regularly. He is the architect of his own fate. These are now the consequences of his choices and his actions. There is nothing we can say now that will harm him legally, and his case is resolved. What frustrates us the most is that we still don't have the complete truth about what happened. Despite all the conversations and his promises to explain, Stephan has continued to be evasive right up until the end. However, we remain determined to seek answers, and if we obtain them, we will share what we learn. And thank you for that, Chris. This has been an extraordinary and painful journey. Like many people, we have observed similar cases from the outside, watching the media coverage and public reaction. Nothing could have prepared us for finding out ourselves at the center of such a tragedy. The betrayal of trust, the shock of discovery, and the weight of association with such terrible crimes has been overwhelming. All right. So listen, if you just jumped in now, you're hearing this, what Chris wrote to me initially before he ever came on the show and talked in his own words. All right. So I hope that the people that challenge Chris and Deborah Sterns and that stand on the narrative that was a year and 5 months ago can understand that a year and 5 months ago has changed quite a lot. A lot of things have changed and we've grown. All right. So I'm going to take a look at chat for a minute. If it's so wrong, nobody wants to raise someone who can do this. In the last few years, these crimes have been coming back. Yeah, there's been so many. Yeah, I'm salty, but Plunder calls me out and gives grace to Chris and wonders why he stayed with me. Maybe she has a crush on it. That's wild. And thank you, AC. Also, I hope you just listened to the comment. This document is from Chris Stearns. This was the document that we made the document. He's the one that wrote it. We put it in a nice format so you guys can all see what's happened since that video and where we are now. All right. And Beck says, Deb and Chris, maybe the truth right now would be too tough to handle. Pain equals love equal pain. You can't have one without the other. What you can have is time to heal. Exactly. And we hope that Deb and Chris do get the time to heal without people sending nasty death threats to their emails, to their phone, etc. All right. I don't think most people have heard this about the Sterns. I haven't heard it before. And you haven't heard it before because this is a new document that was drafted up a couple of weeks ago by Papa Sterns, Chris Stearns. And this is what he stands on. This is what they stand on. All right. So that's why I'm putting this up there so you can see what I'm writing or what was written came from him. I'm just reading it. He didn't have to do that. We didn't have to do that because he came on the show and he was very frank with everybody. All right. So I'm going to continue some more. Throughout Stephan's life, we repeatedly told him that a single event, a single decision on a single day could reshape life forever. And my mom taught me the same thing. One wrong move can determine your entire life. We taught him to choose good over evil, right over wrong. He never heeded this guidance. He allowed himself to become involved in all of this. And why he continued down this path for years remains an unanswered question that haunts us. Life is too short, and Maddie's was taken far too early because of his selfish acts, period. Him and Jen. Her innocence was stolen, and God knows what the quality of her life would have been moving forward, all because of the actions of a fundamentally selfish person who continues to focus only on perceived injustices against himself. We're talking about Stephan Sterns, Chris and Deborah Sterns' son. We are done with his whining. What makes this even more infuriating is that Stephan has never once admitted to committing these offenses. Even worse, he has never denied them either. There's guilt written all over him, yet he continues to act as though he's the victim in this situation. Bingo. We want closure, both for ourselves and for Maddie's memory. Amen. Amen. Amen to that. We want the truth, whatever it may be. It needs to become known. Until we have those answers, we cannot fully process what happened or find peace with this nightmare that has consumed our lives. Again, from Deb and Chris Sterns. All right. Now we fast forward when we discovered Stephan removed the hard drive. Who does that? He left Northport with intentions with consequences, with possible blowback. Hence, removing his hard drive. Again, who does that? And I remind you that when Stephan went to Maddie's after party, we'll call it, Maddie had a birthday on Sunday. She got home at 8:30. Stephan showed up at 9. The day before that, Stephan was all over the house being antsy, asking his parents for anxiety pills. He left Northport to go visit Maddie with his freaking hard drive. He removed his hard drive to go see Maddie. Who does that? An argument could be made that it was not manslaughter, but the big capital M. Because he removed the hard drive. Who does that? Are you seeing a common theme? And these are questions that Chris asks you, asks me, puts it out to the universe. Who does that? All right. Why do you speculate that Stephan was so upset on Saturday? All right. Now, he was upset on Saturday, the Saturday before Maddie's birthday, where she came home. Jen came home at Maddie got home at 8:30. Stephan got there about 8:39. Supposedly he was getting Maddie ready for bed. Jen Soto came home 10:30. By 11, she sent them upstairs. All right. So who does that as a parent? I ask you as well. And let me just take a look at chat. Make sure you guys are good. There are 300 people in chat, and we're on a members only. So thank you. Hit that like button, guys. And yeah, we don't. And maybe Chris will answer some of these. And if you look back at other episodes, he does answer about red flags of a teenager, and there were no red flags from Stephan as far as the essay went. But remember, he did have bouts of anger, and he threw scissors at Chris's head, going close to him. He choked him. So as far as anger, yes, there were red flags. As far as the CSAM, no. All right. And that's coming from them, what we talked about. Now, as far I took it with him, premeditation is there. Absolutely. All right. Yay, Kalisa, you caught a live and a members only chat. All right, let's keep going. So, and what I'm reading here, I think, again, context is king. Although Chris came on here a week ago and explained a lot, it didn't come out in the way that it did on this paper, and that's why I'm sharing it with you. We will put it up on our Ghost platform, but it will be behind a paywall. Okay, so if you have a membership on Ghost and you pay for even a month, you can get the document and go over it yourself. I'm listening to you while I'm paying bills. Well, good for you. Paying bills is a feat in itself. All right, let's keep going. All right. Yeah, this is a members only right now. And I gifted 10 memberships at the beginning so that you guys could get in and see what was going on. All right. And who's saying goodbye? I just seen somebody say, I have to say goodbye. I've got my nephew's game at 5. All right. Good luck to you, Coco. And come back and watch it, won't you? All right. And thanks anybody that's become a member, a super chat, super sticker, more, Abe, Hound Lover. I thank you, CN and Bex, for becoming a member. All right. I'm glad that the Sterns wrote this letter. It's heartbreaking, all that they went through. Absolutely. They're still going through this. Every freaking time a new video comes out of some FOIA information from a year and a half ago, it's like the Twilight Zone. It happens all over again. And yes, we are a members only chat right now. All right. And yes, I gifted you a membership very early on in today. All right. All right. Let me continue. And then I can, we're going to have a call in. So when I do have a call in, I'm going to call Chris and let him talk for a bit. And then if you guys want to call in, you can. And yes, Groundhog Day, every time a new old video comes out. All right. Threats, doxing, harassment, all that. And I know how that is. It sucks. All right. So let's take a look real quick. Again, speculating on Saturday. Why was Stephan so upset? I want you guys to remember that Saturday. He was so upset. People thought that he was so upset that he actually showed up on Saturday and that they lied to us, but that didn't happen. All right. Why was he so upset? According to Chris and Deb, they say, I can only speculate why. She was complicit and wanted to protect Stephan, which in turn would protect her. Now, this is about Stephan and Saturday, him being upset. She was also in denial about Stephan's involvement. Now we're talking about Jen a little bit. Also, Jen wanted to protect Stephan because the detectives told her they were moving forward with the charges of CSAM against Stephan. He needed a lawyer, something Jen did not tell Chris. So she didn't tell him that he needed a lawyer because of they found a bunch of child CSAM abuse material. She just said, get Stephan a lawyer. They're looking at him. They didn't do that, thankfully. All right, the timeline and limited information. This comes again from Chris and Deb's email. It's crucial to understand how information reached us. This all began with phone calls on Monday afternoon. Let's take you guys back to Monday afternoon when Maddie had been missing all day long. Jen Soto went over to the school and said that she was in the front of the line waiting for Maddie. All right. First, about the flat tire. Then, about Maddie not being at school, being there 3 hours away. We had extremely limited access to information. From Monday until afternoon of Tuesday evening is when I left for Orlando, which is Chris. Stephan was our only source of information, and we had no access to local news coverage. This remained our sole information source until I met with detectives on Wednesday at 9 p.m. when I still understood this was being treated as a missing person case. So we just looked at we heard some of the audio. At this point, they didn't even know. They still thought Maddie was only missing. It wasn't until after Stephan's arrest was announced that they saw Tuesday morning a TV interview, which aired on Friday, that they began to grasp the full scope of what had occurred with Maddie, Stephan, Jen, Maddie missing, Maddie being gone forever long, and then the CSAM material. All right. What about your reaction to Jen telling you about the images? Now, I wanted to answer this. I don't see Ashton Lee, but I think it's pretty awesome that Chris addressed this specifically to Ashton Lee, who is our crime crew family member. All right. So Ashton asked a specific question, and that was awesome of you, Chris, to answer. All right. So let's let me get to that. And thank you guys for being here. Members only makes it easier for me to keep track of chat and make sure that people aren't saying ugly things. That's not what I want to do on my channel. All right, so listen. What about the reaction to Jen telling you about the images? When Jen told me about the images found on Stephan's phone, I was already in shock from the rapidly unfolding events. She presented this information very matter-of-factly and honestly. I didn't fully comprehend what I was hearing or the significance to Maddie's disappearance. I was numb from the revelations and the struggling to process the dramatic shift from detectives telling me that Stephan was in the clear to his sudden detention and arrest. All right. In hindsight, I realized I should have asked more probing questions during the conversation with Jen. I was hearing her words, but not fully grasping their implications. Looking back, I missed critical opportunity to gather more information about that night, and I went from being called up on a supportive role to becoming a bystander, watching the events unfold, something that no parent is ever prepared to handle. That I agree. All right. Again, Ashton must have really good questions because what was your reaction to learning about the images? And again, the question that haunts me, especially after seeing Stephan's Tuesday interview, when we viewed it on Friday, we saw that everyone else had saw and comment, and it was total BS from both Jen and Stephan. At that time, we had known the full truth from the beginning. Our entire approach would, had they known the full truth from the beginning, their entire approach would have been 180 degrees different. We would have immediately confronted Stephan, demanding answers and the truth, whether he would have provided it or not. All right. Now, what was your response once you understood the truth? Once they had understood a clear understanding of the events and the evidence, the images on his phone, the surveillance footage, and the discovery of Maddie's body, we had no doubt about Stephan's guilt. We were extremely angry at our son had put us in a such vulnerable position where our lives could have been destroyed. Now, I come back to this I know that someone that maybe someone that's not in chat would say, oh my God, all of this happened to Maddie. She's missing the CSAM. And you guys are thinking about yourself and how vulnerable you guys are. No, guys. Listen, that was a lot to have the phone information, turning in drives and all of this stuff just coming down at once. And remember, Jen and Stephan called Chris to come down and help. So yes, it put them in a vulnerable position being in there. I know Deb is 71, 72, had heart surgery a year prior. So angry, in fact, that they were determined to help the authorities to the best of their ability, which you can't say for the Laundries and some other parents. Who's the other guy? There's a lot of other people that don't do that. All right, Aiden Fucci's mom went and washed the evidence away. This is exactly why we immediately began removing 100% of the contents from his room, every article and possession. We knew he would not be returning, and there was no way he would be allowed back in our home. We wanted to restore that bedroom and distance ourselves from it best as possible, which led to the discovery of additional evidence. If he had been distributing CSAM from our home and authorities had traced his activities back to our house, we could have been faced with an invasion by law enforcement, their home searched, contents turned upside down, Deb and I handcuffed on the lawn, dogs removed and placed in shelters. The potential consequences of his selfish actions conducted from our home were terrifying. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all. Let me get back in chat for a minute and check on you guys. All right, we still have 312 people in here. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you guys for being able to set down your swords just for one night. Lie your swords down. Put them away. Yeah, Roberta Laundrie, Aiden Fucci's mom. All right. Thank you for putting your swords down and listening to another side of the story. It doesn't mean you have to walk away agreeing with me. It just means that you heard me. And thank you so much. Die in this cave for the $1.99 super sticker, super chat. Appreciate you. Holy shiznit, I didn't think of that. All right, let's keep going. What's up, Andy? How you doing? Good to see you. Oh, no, you've been sick? Prayers for you, my friend. I'm so glad you're here. I hope you feel better soon. All right, Sherry, love you too, girl. All right, let's keep going, and then we'll do some stuff. I just want you guys to remember guilty of crime, Deb, Chris, in this case. And every time a video comes out, just be a little more, look at it from all sides, right? And remember, this was a year and 5 months ago minimum. As it grows in distance of time, it's going to be 2 years, 3 years, and we're going to have new FOIAs and new documents, new old documents. It's previously, and we didn't know this stuff, right? So we all live, we all grow, and we learn. Not all of us do. Not all of us are open-minded enough to live and grow and learn, but we do over here. All right. Again, back to this. We asked Chris, what are your expectations and the reality? Stephan had always been told that he would be responsible for his actions, and if he ever got himself into trouble, he would be responsible for himself, and not to look for us to bail him out. When we told him that, we were only thinking of a traffic accident, maybe a DUI, being busted for drugs, but nothing of significance. Boy, little did we know. At the end of the day, we just wanted to know how he got from point A to point B, how this all started. Where was the money coming from for the volume of shipments arriving at the house? It wasn't coming from us. It had been coming from somewhere. When I asked how all these packages were being paid for, he responded, from savings, which I knew was a lie. This is Chris. A question that had not been asked to our knowledge, but then made a lot of sense, and Chris wanted to answer that question. Are you done with the Jen Soto thing and don't want further information, or do you want me to send you Chris's? I don't know why is that on there. Chris's answer to the question for, I don't even know. That's my bad. That's Tiff. Love you. These got on here on accident. These are behind the scenes crap. Questions have been asked to our knowledge. All right, we're just answering stuff anyway. Chris's answers to the questions about the subscribers. I don't think anyone could comprehend the panic, the fear, the disbelief that we went through. I'm pretty sure other parents out there going through horrible incidents with their kids will completely relate. All right, let me know and I'll send you the information, decide what to do. Okay, this is just, I don't know why this made it to the document, but anyway, happy anniversary, Deb. I know it was your anniversary a while back. These are some of our notes. Not sure if it'd be useful to share this with the audience. Exclusive. Stephan has been relocated. We know about all that. Answering Ashton, CSAM. All right, I can confirm that these interviews are from the evening. All right, this is a lot of just behind the scenes stuff, and we put in some of the messages in here. So I'm gonna pull this down. I'm still gonna put this on the members only, but I think now if I can get you, Chris, are you still here? If I can do a phone line call and have Chris, I can give Chris a call. I can remove that. And again, we're gonna do call-ins, guys, but I'm gonna see if I can before I do a call-in. I want to see. Okay, Chris is there. Can you ask Deb? Wait, let me make sure. Is it the same number that I have in the email, Chris? I don't want to say what the number is, and I asked Deb, but Deb didn't. I don't think she responded. Is it the number with the 66 or the 60 at the end, Chris? Let me know. Is it the 60? Yes, 60. All right, let me see if I call the wrong person, I'm gonna have to hang up. All right, so 60 number, I'm gonna assume. Deb, Chris, let me check again. All right, so I'm gonna try the number with the 60 and see if that's you, because that's your number. Oh, okay, wait. Let me look for that number real quick, Chris. The There's been a lot of, hold on real quick. 6588. All right, hold on. I can just dial it if I have it. 6588. 6588. There's so many numbers here. There's so many people that called. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me look at my email because I don't know why I'm not seeing that number, Chris. I'm gonna double check. I do have your number at the bottom of the emails, but hold on. Deb, is there any way? Let me see. Hold on. No. All right. Is there any way you guys I can't find it in the 1,000 phone calls. Deb, is there any way you can, you or Chris either send me a text or, because I have Chris's number, but I can't find it. Hold on. I thought I had it. Where'd it go? Chris, are you close to your email so you can just email it? I cannot find it. Thank you, Truthers. Thanks to Deb and Chris for being so kind to share their experience of the tragedy with us. It's not easy, but it's going to be helpful, hopefully, so that we can okay, hold on. Okay, I got Deb's number. Yes, we're live right now. We're about to call Chris so he can explain or answer that question about a monster raising a monster and why people think it is it's their fault or that they did that or something like that. I can't find the freaking number. Deb, can you help me? It was at the bottom of your emails, Chris, but for some reason I just don't see it. Oh, okay, I got it. Never mind. I got it. Let me put it in my phone. Oh, thank you. You guys are awesome. All right, I got you. I'm going to take it off. Do not disturb. And I'm going to dial. I got it. Thank you. It's a Friday. Give me some grace. All right. All right. Let's get it. Freaking Google Voice. All right. I wish I had a touch screen right now. Come on. Give me a second. We're live right now, guys. But for some reason, my mouse is skipping around. All right, I got it. I'm going to call Chris right now. 310 blah, 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 blah. But. I have like a million numbers here. You guys, when the show is over, you guys still call me. It's pretty funny. All right, I got Chris I'm dialing him right now.
You've reached the party to whom you're calling.
Are you in the middle of working, twerking? Are you good? You good to talk?
Yeah, I'm twerking free right now, so I'm good.
All right. Welcome. That's why we're not putting you on the screen because, we don't want to give it all away. All right.
Very pretty.
All right. So I ask you, let's talk about the question and anything you want to say, really.
Deb and I, 45 years of being married, we've been through a lot of journeys, and we're not bitter about this per se. Right. At least us, we're really sad about the events and how they unfolded, and obviously the end results that discovering somebody had been abused for quite a number of years, and then ultimately sacrificed their life as a result of it. None of this has been good. And of course, we're left with dealing with that as being the parents of somebody that's perpetrated this. But as I said, life is a journey.
Yeah.
No one says you get from A to Z and without hitting a few road bumps, traffic bumps and curbs and what have you. But we look at this as God's given us a challenge. Not sure how we come out at the end of this, but it's made us stronger as a couple, and maybe that was his expectation. Debbie and I talk about this on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
Less now that Stephan has been away from us for a couple of months, so it's not an everyday subject, but we do talk about it from time to time, and just kind of scratch our head and wonder how we arrived here. I mean, we've had the opportunity to speak outwardly to each other
right.
every day about this event, and one way or another, there's hardly a day it doesn't go by where we talk about it. Stephan, this event, and how the F did we get here?
Exactly.
You know, and the fact that we know that Stephan is not going to be with us one day. We're already prepared for that. But this journey, as I said, is just making us stronger.
Right.
You know, a friend of mine bought me a Bible when this happened, and I've tried to be more spiritually spiritual in my journey, and sometimes I'm not as good as I should be, and I wake myself up, or I wake up and realize that I haven't been, and I get a little upset with myself and promise myself that I'll be better. I've subscribed to a bunch of stuff like Our Daily Bread. I really like that.
Right.
In fact, I get it in an email every day. I really like those stories. They really touch me.
My mom sends those to me too, by the way. It's cute. Every morning she says hello, and then she sends me like a Bible verse or a uplifting story. So that's awesome.
So, you know, we just look at this as a journey, and we're really kind of surprised and shocked by how people have lashed out at us, because we know as much as they know and knew when this was unfolding. And, you know, Steph was a frequent visitor of ours for the last 10 years.
Right.
So we really didn't have him on a day-to-day basis, and more or less took him for his word about things he was doing. And obviously the times that we did have the three of them in the house with us together, didn't see anything out of the ordinary, what have you. But it's you know, you got a guy that's almost 40 years old. He's 39 years old. You know, our turn with him ended 20 years ago. Right. You know, all we were trying to do was just try to help him in his journey to figure out where he was going and what he was doing. We know Stephan's completely 100% responsible for what he did, and we hold him responsible for those actions, and he's paying the price for it.
Right.
And you can't change that.
And we've changed. I mean, like people. So I think a big reason why I wanted to clear things up before more FOIAs come out is, I mean, people are, every time a video comes out, there's some new attack or new email someone sends Deb, or some new people that are like this happened yesterday, and that we haven't learned and grown. And you were in the dark when a lot of this stuff happened. So that's why I wanted to respond, and I wanted you to respond how much we've come, how far we've come since that that interview I played. I mean, you want to talk about that and people's judgment and saying you raised a monster or you're feeding them, I don't know, whatever they said.
Well, you know, it's interesting that they keep rehashing a lot of misinformation. Yep. And in the beginning, they just made up anything they wanted to make up and say.
Right.
But you know, if you knew us personally, and we're really boring people, and we just live a quiet, simple life, you know, try to do things correctly, and you know, certainly try to instill that into Stephan as much as we could. I mean, our other son had a great career in the Navy and has a great career after the Navy. He's never gotten himself into trouble. Right. And you know, complete opposite of this situation. So, you know, I like to stand on that merit, the fact that he's a great guy. And you know, not sure what happened with Stephan, but you know, the fact that they just keep going back and rehashing the same stuff is all for sensationalism, and it's all for click. It's all for monetization. I've watched one YouTube channel, and I don't watch this stuff that often. Debbie does. I don't have the time for it, and nor do I want to be involved with it.
Right.
Not that I'm taking away from what you do, and I think you do a great job.
Understood. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, but it's we're just surprised at this attacks of parents. Now, I can see some reason, some rationalization. You do that with the Landrys and some other people that stood in the way. But we were upfront from the very beginning about our cooperation, and we just were waiting for the story to unfold. But these attacks on us are really unwarranted, and they're not factual. Somebody wants to take some information and twist and distort it and make it into something else. They're just trying to inflame their audience and increase their audience clicks and obviously monetize it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm glad to say that and show this, because I showed a really good example of that at the very beginning. It's like the context was completely taken away from anything that happened. If anybody learns anything today, I want them to know that, and stop freaking. I mean, just because a video comes out every month or two, don't attack you guys. That's crazy.
Well, in the very beginning, they were hunting for anything and everything, and to dig up some of the personal challenges that Debbie and I went through earlier in life. I have no idea what purpose that served, but it does create sensationalism, and I don't think there's a person out there in this world that hasn't had similar circumstances to what Debbie and I have gone through. Not this, I mean, but certainly other life challenges. I made a big mistake in 2020 before even Stephan was born. I got up at 3:00 one morning and I thought I'd surprise Debbie, and I went outside, and she had started planting daffodils and tulips in the front yard. It was almost wintertime. I was in the red clay digging holes, and I took the rest of those tulips and daffodils and I planted them for Debbie. And when she got up, I surprised her. Said, "Dad, guess what I did?" And I took her outside and showed her, and she turned to me. She said, "But I had a pattern."
What's that?
What do you mean you had a pattern? Well, I was putting him in a certain pattern, and I said, "Well, I'm not digging them up." This is where a husband really screwed up trying to do something good and gets slapped for it. Debbie got in her car, and she quietly got in her car, and she drove out the driveway, and she went down the street with the windows up, doing a primal scream. I had screwed up her pattern. Fortunately, we moved to California before they bloomed, and Debbie said, "Well, there's going to be messed up." And I said, "Yeah, but we're not going to be here to see it."
And then those are the good stories. Those are the feel good type of. You guys just made 45 years, and I apologize. I was on that bandwagon in the very beginning too. Everything that came out about you guys, oh my goodness, they're getting a divorce. A bunch of fake stuff that didn't really quite happen the way that they say. So I apologize to you and Deb for being there initially, but yeah, thank you for straightening that out.
We have so much fun joking with one another, and Debbie's always my straight person, and I can't help it. She teases herself up, sets herself up, and I just got to take advantage of it. That's when I call her. That's when I tell her she has a blongenuity moment, what have you. But at the end of the day, and this is really kind of advice for other parents that may face this, and I hope it never happens. But if you do, we've become much stronger, and we speak, outwardly about this. No one's holding anything within, and we talk about it, and we're still perplexed as to how this got from A to point B, and the fact that this started years ago. I mean, I saw the record that they had posted on Stephan's incarceration, and it said 2019. I said, let me see if I'm good at math. 2019, 2025, Maddie's 13. What the F? You got to be kidding me. And he makes a comment, I didn't start this. And that's the one that really has me perplexed. That kind of threw me.
Right.
Because I think then it's, oh, there's other people involved. Well, no, that's not necessarily true. Maybe Maddie started it in some way or another. God, who knows? This is why I want to know the truth. But he, being an adult, should immediately step back away from this and stop this. But I don't, like I said, I don't know what's going on. It's crazy.
And you didn't know anything about it either. And when he said I didn't start it, I assumed it was either Jen that gave him the okay to do whatever, or if he was maybe a little bit victim blaming, because I heard other things about him saying Maddie, would flirt with him. Jen and Maddie would both flirt with him when he got out of the shower, which you can't flirt with a little kid. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't know what he meant by that either, but I mean, I don't know if we ever will.
I don't know, because Stephan's a long way from where we are, and I calculating the time, the math, and of the expenses involved, and having dogs taken care of. I mean, we could be looking at $700 to $1,000 just to go up there and spend 30 minutes with them. Have to question, the sanity of that. Maybe one of us can go, but certainly not both. It's a little tough when you have this many dogs, but we just don't trust them to anybody, and I wouldn't want to put that kind of responsibility in somebody's lap. I mean, the house that we have is a big backyard. It's fenced in. Don't have to worry about them getting out. But I wouldn't want to burden anybody with our problems and our responsibility. We stand up for ourselves.
Right. Understood. And yeah, you got some big girls there. Those are some big poodles.
But like I said, it's something like this can either tear you apart and make you stronger, and it's made us stronger. We renewed our vows at our 20 years ago, and we care deeply about each other, and we're not attacking each other. We're very supportive of each other, and we both, God, it's hard to believe, but we're both in total agreement about the situation with Stephan. There's no disagreement about any of this.
Because it can rip, usually statistic wise, it usually does rip parents apart, spouses apart. So statistics really would, if let's say Deb was like, hey, you're being hard on our son, and then you're like, well, screw that, So I'm glad you guys are on the same page about where you are with this, and how you've grown into this. A lot of things have changed.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably maybe harder about this with Stephan than Debbie is per se. After I discovered and we discovered from hearing the arrest and yada yada, we both were determined to if we found anything else. I mean, we had a conversation about Stephan's trigger.
Right.
And I said, the police didn't ask me, but if we're in court and we're asked, I said, well, there's not going to be any doubt what the response is going to be. We're going to tell them the truth. And if it's damaging to Stephan, it's damaging to Stephan.
Right.
But you can't withhold the truth, because for us, going forward after that day, having that guilt of not disclosing that when asked would be it wouldn't make us feel very good. And at some point, I would have brought it out in the trial, because I would have questioned their investigative skills and whether or not. But I was surprised to see that interview where the detective asked Jen, "Did he have a trigger?" That was a tale. That was a very telling tale. When he asked her that was I never seen that interview until a couple of weeks ago, and I shared that with you. I said that was very revealing. They knew something. They knew something at that moment during that interview that we know to be truthful.
Right.
And that gave us the conclusion today, not back then, but today, that Stephan was the lone perpetrator and was responsible for what happened with Maddie. We feel it was an accident, but there again, until I talk to him, I won't know that for sure. But I could see him having a trigger and being upset and doing something that I mean, when he does that, his face almost goes blank.
Right.
You know, it's like he's zoned out.
Right.
And he's not who he is. And then he snaps out of it. I don't make a point to resist him. I let him just work it out, and then he's done with it. But because I don't want to see it escalated into something we both be sorry about.
Right, exactly. And he never confirmed or denied any of that. He just didn't say anything. And it is weird that Jen wouldn't say anything about a trigger when you know damn well what his triggers are to an extent.
Well,
you know, he gets triggered.
You know, well, the interesting thing is throughout his entire incarceration and all his whining and the messages, if you share those messages of him the night before his plea deal, he just whining about the injustice. And I'm sitting there, what do you mean injustice? What about Maddie's injustice?
Right.
And you're caught dead to rights. And I told him, just quit your whining. And I sent you the contents of the letter that we were allowed to send him personally.
Right.
And I called him out. I said, you know, all the whining you did, you never cried your innocence. You never shouted out you were innocent. Never.
And he still doesn't.
And at the end of the day, all you ever wanted to do was tell your story, which I believe your story is that it was an accident. But as I told you, and I've told him, he'd lost the ability to control the narrative. He left it up to the police to write the narrative themselves. And this is what you ended up with. Whether you would have gotten away with something lesser remains to be seen. And certainly if you went to trial, they would have gotten you on the first one or they would have gotten you on the second one. And either way, you're going to end up where you ended up.
Right.
I don't know where he was writing this story about making plans to come home, because we certainly weren't making plans for him to be home. We got rid of every piece of stuff he had in that house. There was no place for him. The house that we're in now has no place for him. And we don't want him. He's on his own. Should have turned him loose 20 years ago, and maybe things would be differently. Maybe things would be worse. You'll never know. Hindsight's always 20/20.
Right. Yeah. There's no way to know, but I mean, just moving on, a lot of things have changed from a year and 5 months ago, or whatever other stupid crap's going to come out. And I just, that's my technical term for these videos that give a little bit of context, and the rest is all just lies or moments about one little thing. You know, you got 2-hour video and everybody's commenting on the one thing that might have been said. So, I mean, I just want people to understand where you guys are coming from and where we are now. That's all. I can't change anybody else's ideas, but I can at least have my platform to say that about you guys, that you're good people and you did not, raising a monster doesn't have anything to do with you.
No, I mean, in fact, if you anything, you had to grow up kind of thick skin in our family, because if you did a faux pas or something, you know, I'm quick to pick on it. And I'm the first one to pick on myself. I laugh at myself all the time for mistakes I make or dumb things I do, and so we pick on each other and make fun of it. But you know, no one gets bent out of shape about it, except if it's daffodils or tulips. But we have a lot of fun with one another.
Yeah, don't do that again. No, don't mess up. She's got a method.
Hey, you notice I've never groomed the dogs. That is sacred territory. You know, I'm not even allowed to cut a toenail.
Really? Me neither. Remember, my wife is a dog groomer. I'm not allowed to touch the dogs. Even a bath I suck at. So, hey, keep your grooming, Deb. No one wants to do it.
We really love what you do, Jay.
Thank you.
And you know, the fact that you're unbiased about it. You know, it never, until you know both sides of the story, how can you comment about it? You can't.
I mean, you can, but that's not the right thing to do. And we try to do the right thing as much as we can, you know?
But we don't feel sorry for ourselves. We feel stronger. We, you know, there are people that are living far worse situations than we are. And whenever I start to feel down about myself, I start thinking about the fact that, I've got to feet, to legs, to arms, eyes. I'm working. I enjoy what I do. I enjoy life. I feel refreshed and renewed every day I wake up, in spite of everything that's going on. This is just a challenge, and God's testing us, and we're helping each other get through it, and we're fine.
Right.
It's just sad that people think that we have to be a target and they want to target us, but hey, that just makes us stronger.
Yes, agreed. So, I mean, that's really just what, I wanted to talk about this last week, but I had other cases to cover. And then I see this coming out and the unfair thing said, and I just wanted to give you guys a chance. And obviously I needed to get it out to my audience. So at least when people leave nasty messages, I said my piece, and I respect you guys. I respect the growth you've gone through, and I respect the people that you are. So thank you.
I'm looking at a comment one of your audience members put, my husband isn't allowed in my kitchen. I get it. Well, Deb and I share the cooking duties. I'm a little cleaner and neater than she is when I cook. She leaves a mess. Looks like a hurricane went through there. But I clean up as I go along. But I let her cook the fried chicken because I can't cook fried chicken with crap.
Yeah,
look at that. Potatoes. We do potatoes.
Yeah, you guys gotta make some potatoes. No handcuffs though, because you might break your teeth.
That reminds me of a. You know why a tomato is red?
Why?
Because it sees the salad dressing.
Wait, it sees the salad dressing? Wait,
yeah,
what?
The tomato sees the salad dressing.
Why is a tomato red? It sees the salad dressing?
Yeah, salad is getting dressed.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm like, wait, what am I? Okay, I'm naked. They're filling me in. I'm like, wait, what? What am I? Okay. They're laughing. I didn't get it. My bad. I just
naked salad. Come on.
They're okay. I got it. Now I can retell that now. They're like, look, the salad's getting dressed. Okay, guys. I get it.
Well, you wanted a dad joke. I had to throw that in there.
That was a good one. I wasn't expecting the naked salad, but now everybody else got it but me. All right. You see the blonde up here? That takes away sometimes from my Oh man, everybody's laughing. That's good. We're leaving off on a good note. So we've been here an hour and a half now. If anybody has any questions, if Chris wants to answer, otherwise, if you guys want, we can open the chat and you guys could talk. Deb says I'm blonde to the bone. Oh my goodness. You really are, Deb. All right. You got anything, Chris? You got anything?
No, not really. I think we said all we can say, and again, it's been great to have a chance to speak about this openly, and we're just plain ordinary people that just got blindsided one day, and now we've got this little test and challenge in our lives, and it made us stronger and made us stronger with one another. So we get it.
Right.
We're looking forward to the next one. Maybe it's not so much a tough test or challenge that we're experiencing now, but we're prepared for the inevitable, whatever happens up in Appalachia.
Right.
We're prepared for that too. So.
Right. Agreed. And it's coming.
So follow the yellow brick road says, do you plan to financially, emotionally support Stephan? I don't know how much we can support him emotionally unless he calls us. We're not even on his approved list, so we're not even sure what's going on with that. And if we do anything financially, it's going to be a small token, certainly nothing that we were doing in the past. We've got to get on with our lives.
Right.
He made his choice. This is where he ended up. He's got to deal with it. We're not going to be there forever, so he needs to start learning to deal with it. So
yeah, and rightfully so. I mean, I'm sure he's going to reach out to you once he gets settled and say, "Mom and Dad, I don't have, I need white shirts or whatever." My nephew was in prison for 5 years, and I got a phone call every week. Not how are you doing, Auntie, but I need you to send me money because that's what they think about in there.
So Stephan, there was a question about the Stephan he always had a gun with him. He left it in the townhouse, and they confiscated it. So, all the other guns he has, I've sold them.
Right. And that's pretty typical in Florida, right? I mean, isn't there a carry? Isn't it typical that people carry in Florida?
It's not open carry, but there's no longer concealed carry registration required anymore. We have them, but
right.
But there's no restriction on that anymore.
Okay, all right.
Which I think is unfortunate because people need to know. We took 40 hours of gun training when we got our guns, and with 1-to-1. So, and you got to know the rules and the regulations, or you get yourself in trouble. People think if you take a gun out and flash it to somebody, that's okay. No, third-degree felony. You cannot do that.
Yeah, I'm glad California doesn't have that carry. I can't get a carry license here, but it's a good thing because, you know, if you're going to pull it out, you better be ready to use it. And that's not a good thing. But I've taken my time. I know how to properly shoot. And I think everybody should. But I guess that was the thing in Florida, right? Stephan just had a gun and he took it where he went.
Well, he was actually held up when he was about 18. One of his friends set him up, and there were some bad guys in the car. And this friend disclosed where they were, and they all arrived, and they all were forced to lay face down. And dumbest thing these guys could do is try to rob teenagers who didn't have a penny in their pocket. And boy, were they pissed when they found that they had no money. They were not very happy. But hey, they weren't thinking very clearly, and they certainly picked the wrong people to hold up a bunch of dead broke teenagers.
And that's why Stephan started carrying. That happened. Makes sense.
Well, he immediately, when he turned 21, he wanted to be able to protect himself, and so he got a gun.
Right, and that happened with me too. Yeah, we got carjacked in Oakland. I'm here in San Jose, and Oakland's bad. They carjacked us, threw us out of the car by gunpoint, and after that, I learned real quick how to shoot many guns.
Well, you never know at any time, at any given time. You know, if you're not observant of the surroundings, you could be at a gas station and not paying attention. And you know, they usually operate in pairs.
Right. Oh, there was 5 of them, Chris. I wasn't driving. It was my roommate driving, and she stopped to look for an address, and 5 characters came out and just carjacked us. There was nothing we could do, you know? So after that, you want to carry, which is sad. But Stephan didn't use, I mean, the gun wasn't used in anything. People ask about that quite a bit because it was in the room and Jen knew it was. I mean, was that just something that was okay, I guess? Or just normal?
Well, I mean, he never went anywhere without it. And for him, it was in a nightstand drawer, from what I understand.
Yeah, right. Okay, well then that's pretty typical. Oakland, like South Central, don't go there. Yes, Lil Red says thank you to the Sterns parents, with you, Chris and Deb, and I mean, I appreciate it. I feel like we're getting like some kind of closure for me, so we can move forward, right? Not keep on rehashing this crap.
Yeah, I wish the other podcasts would just focus on, you know, the truth for Maddie and not, not continue targeting us. But if they feel that that's how they need to operate, well, so be it.
Well, they won't keep getting responses from us. I just wanted to make it clear on my channel where I stand. And if people want to leave dumb comments, I'm not going to answer them. That's how that goes.
Well, we understand that controversy generates the clicks and the revenue. We understand blaming us creates a neat narrative. Boring to me, but okay. So it's, but at the end of the day, it's not doing justice for Maddie. It's all about Maddie. It's not about us. We were up front in the beginning. The story's not about us. Leave us out of it.
Right.
In the news media calling us up, it's not about us. It's about something else. We don't have anything to share with you. I wish we did, but we don't. In fact, you know, we've often talked of what if we found this ourselves? We have no choice but turn them in.
Absolutely. And you guys did, in my opinion, you guys did your part. And I'm glad that people in chat are being awesome today. We're not getting attacks and just, it's great. So thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate Deb. I appreciate the friendships that we've established. And you guys know, if you guys just need something or just reach out to BS, I'm here. So that's how that
Well,
goes.
I appreciate that. And someday we'll have to make or we'll share our Mexican cornbread recipe with you. So,
well, I'll probably be in Florida. Next time I go to Florida, I'll try to get out there and have some dinner with you guys or something like that as well. So
we'll have a food fight.
Yeah, we could have a food fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's have a food fight with the cornbread. Does it get hard?
No, it doesn't get hard. It's a soft spoonable cornbread.
Okay, well, I can leave it out for a day, and then that's not cheating, right?
No, it's not cheating.
The bricks, cornbread bricks, throw them. Thank you, Sherry. Hey, I made you laugh. Deb says, you better. I will. I'll go. I'm definitely going to go out to Florida again. And now I won't have to go for the trial, though. I wasn't looking forward to hearing about the CSAM ever. So there.
Yeah, that video or that thumb drive, all I did was hover over it and not see the images, but it gave a bunch of names, underage children. And I go, no, don't want to see this, but I get the idea of what it could be. I didn't realize there was going to be 35,000 images on it.
There you go. Deb says that's why we asked them to take it. And that makes sense. And wow, that was really the name of it? Ugh, that's crazy.
Yeah, stuff like that. And I said, no, don't want this. I won't be able to unsee it.
You
and
can't. I was
I
just
don't
about
want
to say that. You can't.
I've seen enough. Somebody else can look at them.
Right. Yeah, I never want to hear about that or any of that. I just want to move forward past that. Maddie did not need, you're agreed, Deb. Maddie, this is about Maddie, and she did not need to be exposed again or ever for that matter. They need to seal those and just lock them away, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's why we pushed hard for Stephan to take the plea deal. And I said, again, you're caught with the evidence on your phone. I don't care how they found it or what have you. You're caught with the evidence. You got your hand caught in a cookie jar.
Right.
Man up, fess up to it, and move on. Don't allow people to have to suffer through this any more than what they have. Be done with it.
Well, at least I can say he did that, and now we could move forward speculating about Jen. # arrest Jen Soto. But yeah, she's gonna be a Casey Anthony for sure. In my opinion, people aren't gonna forget what happened.
Yeah, for sure.
Deb says yes.
It will. I told him he's a bookmark forever. Is the comment that I made to him. Right. He's a bookmark forever.
And he will. I mean, what do you mean by that? Just that
he's a placeholder. I mean, if he's ever Googled, he's always going to come up with all this stuff. At some point, somebody 20 years from now decide to do a story. And
they will.
It's never going to go away.
Right. Agreed.
And our tin can happens to be tied to that bumper in some form, fashion, or another. We're forever going to be associated with it.
Right. Well, the name Sterns,
Well, it's a fairly common name, thank goodness. So.
Well, maybe he'll get buried after 20 years when you guys are no longer around. Just kidding.
Well, we're going to be cremated and we're taking the dogs with us.
Okay. Yeah, high five on that. I feel you.
So.
All right. Well, I think everyone seems to be like just chilling in chat, and I think I feel good about today. How about you?
Well, I'm looking at some of the comments here and trying to see if there's any questions, if there's anything out there before I go.
Yeah. Everyone's just chatting. I don't really see. I mean, there's some, but I don't think anything that we can really answer.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to be a member. Now I can tell everybody I'm a card-carrying member of Jay Scott's.
Yes, guilty of crime.
Guilty of crime.
Yeah.
What'd you do? What did you do?
I know. People tell me that too. They're like, oh, guilty of crime. And then they look at my background history and there's nothing. So, ha ha. Yes, Synth, you can call as soon as Chris is done. Synth is dying to call in.
Well, I want to, turn the floor over to somebody else and let them have it's a limelight. But hey, reach out anytime. I'll be popping in every now and then to check in on you. I see these other stories that are unfolding, and it's sad. Something every day for sure.
It literally is something every day. So just go ask Deb. Deb will tell you. Deb is a true crime junkie as well. I see.
She never does anything lightly. It's either all in or not in, and she is so in on guilty of crime. Yeah.
Hey,
I just come in and say, "What's the latest with Jay?" and she gives me the update.
Baby Emmanuel, right? Carrie says, "Wait, Chris. Okay, if you got one more question, Jay has a joke for you, Deb. I don't know jokes, so I don't, Carrie. You'd have to tell me. All right, I will let you go. I don't know I can't read chat fast enough, so I will let you go. I don't know a joke, Carrie. I don't even know how to tell jokes properly. That's me all or nothing. But Deb,
I see Cynthia is talking about her blood glucose monitor is 44, but my finger prick says I'm 143. I fight that all the time too. In fact, mine was going off. I had to shut my phone off because it said I was 59, but I don't believe it. I'll prick my finger. I'll join you in prick, Synth.
So, Synth, you can call in and prick your finger while you're on the line. And Carrie, I just am not. My phone's not picking up right now for some reason. The internet's garbage. So I'm gonna let Chris off the hook, and you guys have a wonderful night. Right now it's late there, right? It's already gonna be 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock.
No, it's almost 9 o'clock. I got to go shopping for Deb, get her a few groceries.
Okay, I did find that before I let you go. Chris, why did the potato cross the road?
I give up.
He saw a fork up ahead. All right, I got one for Deb, but Deb's not on here. So, Deb, how do you know a potato's in a bad mood? You're gonna ask me how? When they're acting salty. I like the first one better, but they're still good. All right. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Deb. Deb says, how? Deb, how do you know potatoes in a bad mood? When they're acting salty. All right, guys. Synth, call in. Chris, I'll let you off the hook. And Deb got the joke. Thank you, Angela, for coming up. All right, Chris. You guys take care, and I'll be in touch.
Love and kisses, guys. Take care.
Mwah. Good night. Have a good one. All right.
TTFN. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, Synth. Now's your chance before everybody calls in. That was cute. Thank you, Carrie. Good night, Deb. Go do something that's non-stressful. All right, go chill out. I still have 312 people in here. Does anybody want to call in? I'm offering a Friday night call in. If not, I'd be happy to go and get some dinner and just do something else. All right, let me refresh. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh, wait, you guys. All right, Synth. Okay. Nobody wants to call in. You guys don't want to call in? I'm not going to stay much longer. Yeah, thank all of you guys. All right, Synth. I'm giving you the opportunity. I don't know why you're not calling. All right, I guess we're not doing call-ins. I think we had enough call-in. The chat's stagnant. It won't let you. No. Hold on. I forgot to take it off. Do not disturb. That's my bad. All right, let me give you you guys, I suck. I suck. All right, 408-538-1516. I'm sorry. I forgot to take it off. Do not disturb, guys. That's my bad. All right. Now you guys can call in. Come on. It's not working? No, I just took it off, guys. You're saying it's not working? Okay, if you guys want to try it one more time, because I just took it off do not disturb. And I just talked to Chris on here, so I don't know how it's not working. Okay. All right. You want to call in, Carrie? Try it real quick. 408-538-1516. I just opened the line. I can try calling in myself. It's ringing but not picking up, huh? All right, let me see. It's just going straight to voicemail. All right, receiving calls is do not disturb is off. That's weird. All right, well, I'm going to have to pick this back up, guys, and we'll have to figure it out. I see people are calling in and nothing's happening, my friends. It's going straight to voicemail and I don't know why. So, that being said, let me try one more thing. Synth, did you just call in? Is your number the 360? I'll try calling you. Okay, Nana Rock called. Change your number. What? What are you guys talking about? All right, it's the number. It's 408-538-1516. It says it's receiving calls. I got some text messages. All right, well, that's nobody. Oh, wait, what's you, Nana Rock? The 306 number? It's going now. All right.
Call from Yellow Brick Road. 1616. To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
It all held in at once. Hello.
Call from Yellow Brick Road.
Okay, you just gotta turn your background off. No, someone's on the phone. Yellow Brick Road was on the phone. They hung up. It's working, guys. You guys called in twice. Hold on. All right, it's working now. I'm gonna call this number back.
Your call has been forwarded to an. All
right, try again, guys. It's on now. It's for sure on. No, it's just one number, Foxy. 408-538-1516. Come on.
Call from.
Okay. All right, I got it. You hear, Synth?
Yeah.
All right. It works.
What? Okay. Yeah.
You're too loud.
All right. I had to do that. I had to do it. All right. Let me whip this out real quick before we lose Chris and Deborah, because I got this the day after I went to my new church and my counseling session.
Okay.
And I thought, wow, man, this is really good, and I wanted to share it. All right.
Okay, share.
O for opportunity.
Okay.
Okay. Accept all that comes your way, good, bad, or otherwise. Everything you do, everything that happens exists for the benefit of your growth and development. One cannot evolve without learning from the opportunities and challenges experienced through every stage of life.
Awesome. And where'd that come from right now? What are you reading it out
That
of?
came from one of my videos I watched. This lady that I watch, and she takes old books and she tears crap apart, and it was one of those, books, A through Z crap, and that was O.
Okay. Well, that's awesome.
I cannot tell you the author. I did not pay attention to that part of it.
That's okay. The whole point of it was just for, uplifting, and and we appreciate that. We want to carry that vibe through tonight and for the weekend. And all of a sudden, I love it because everybody's calling and it's working now. Yay! Thank you, Lady for Justice.
Great show.
Thank you.
And everybody, just be safe. Be aware of yourself and your surroundings. Try not to encapsulate yourself in our little hermit crab shells because we've been burnt by other humans. Okay.
And amen on that. Thank you. I'm going to grab the next call and I'll talk to you
soon. All right, dear. I love you all. Be good.
Best mods.
Call from.
Hello.
Lori. To accept, press 1.
All right, Lori, where are you calling from, my friend?
Is this Jay?
This is Jay with Guilty of Crime. How are you?
Oh my goodness. I just wanted to I'm from Florida. I'm
All
from
right.
Jacksonville, Florida, and I'm the Bluebirds. I make comments on your show, and I'm the Bluebird one, the blonde lady with the
Oh,
bluebirds.
okay. Yes, yes.
And I love your show. I just love it. And I mean, you've got the best one out there, and I really love true crime, and I just think you're the best.
Well, thank you. Did
And
you get to watch tonight's show, most of it?
Oh yeah, I mean, I've been watching you for a while. I mean, I've got it on my 85-inch TV right now watching you.
Oh, nice, nice. So you're into you're a true crime junkie too, right?
Oh my God, am I ever? I love it. I mean, that's how I watch, when I have my TV on, and I always watch you. I think you're great, and I think you've been doing such a great job with Deb and Chris. I just love your heart. And you have such a sweet soul. You're just I just think you're a wonderful woman, and I just you're just awesome, and I just wanted to tell you that, and I really enjoy your show.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be part of your day, and I'm glad that you're you can see the Guilty of Crime family. We try to be here for each other and for the victims. That's what we want.
Yeah, and that's what I want too, and there's so much going on right now.
I know.
Everything's going on with this missing Emmanuel, and I keep up with everything, and I just think it's so wonderful and so great that you are so good to Deb and Chris. Because I feel for them so much. I'm a mother. I have a son.
Right.
And I just can't imagine. But I just wanted to thank you for being so good to these people, and helping them, and just being there for all of us, because when I want to get out of my head, you know what I mean, I love watching you.
Well, thank you. I do appreciate being part of each one of your day, and I'm so glad that you called in and you feel comfortable to call.
I do. I feel great. I feel like I know you, and I'm going to become a member. I have to become a member. I want to do that because I want to be, like more. Want to feel like more part of it. So if I'm a member, then I'll feel better.
Maybe you'll get a gifted membership soon too. It's just we try to have a good time, even though we're doing true crime, right?
I know. I know. Yes, I know it's true crime, and like I said, I'm a true crime junkie, basically.
Oh yeah, me too.
With the Summer Wells case, and just everything.
I do.
And
I'm right there with you.
Just,
we all are.
And and I just took a shot. This is the first time I saw the number on there. I said, you know what? I'm going to try and call. And I think I tried calling like 3 or 4, maybe 5 times, but I kept getting your machine.
Voicemail.
And I said, I said, I'm going to try one more time.
Well, I'm so glad. I got you. Everyone just loves you. They're like such a sweet caller, and you are. It's a great call. It's much better than the alternative, right?
Yeah. But it has been so wonderful getting to talk to you.
Thank you so much.
Like I said, I just absolutely love you. I just love your station here. I don't know what they call it there. Was it station?
We try to keep the safe space. The safe space. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I'm going to take the next call, and I hope you get a membership soon. Keep coming back. 4:00 Monday through Friday, 7:00 your time. Okay.
Oh, I know. I'm there every time, 4 and 7.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you. Big hugs
and
to
I will
you.
will become a member, okay, honey? I will become a member.
You got it.
And I just wanted to thank you again for being so good to
You're
Deborah and Chris,
Absolutely.
Sterns, and everything else that you do. You bring attention to these children who are missing, and you just do everything right to me.
Thank you.
I don't know.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that so much. Come back next week and let's do it again. All right.
Yeah. It's so great talking to you.
You too. You
And
take
you
care.
you too, honey, and you have a great night, and God bless you.
Back at you. Good night. Bye-bye.
Okay, good night. Bye-bye.
That was awesome. That was an uplifting call. L Minor, thank you for the membership. And then we got 5 more memberships. I do have what? Oh, it's already same person. Thank you.
Call from Carrie.
Yeah, my girl, Carrie. How you doing?
Hi, Jay. Hi,
Good to
Guilty
hear.
of Crime crew.
Yeah, how you doing?
Good. I came to you with more potato jokes.
Let's go.
Okay, so what do you call a fake potato?
What do you call a fake potato? I don't know.
Potato.
Oh, what do you call
imitator?
Oh my god. Fake potato. An imitator. I love it. That was good. I'm gonna have to write these down because I can't execute these jokes, girl.
Okay, so I have another one. Why wouldn't the reporter leave the mashed potatoes alone?
Why? Does anyone know in chat first? Hold on. She says call it Jen Soto. No, why? Tell me.
He desperately wanted a scoop.
Oh my god. But you know.
Okay, I'll give you another one.
Okay.
What is a potato's life philosophy?
What?
What is a potato's life philosophy? It is, I think, therefore I am.
Oh my. Hey, at least I get your joke. Sometimes I'm like a blonde.
They're so silly, but I just figured now that I was like on a rabbit hole, potatoes. Now I went to go eat potatoes.
Me too.
All right. Well, I hope you guys are all doing good.
Thank you. I am, and thank you so much. I got to catch up with the coworker stuff.
You are.
I am. Yep.
I
am. Now I'm gonna go get some potatoes, girl. Now I'm hungry. Thank you.
All right. Have a good night.
Have a
Happy
good night.
Friday.
You too. Bye. All right, guys. I'm done here. I can't take any more calls. We will have another call in next Friday. I had to shut the phone line down because I'm just exhausted. But I love each and every single one of you. And remember, we're here for that was funny. I am. You got me. Friday nights are definitely good call-in shows. It's always, I love the turnout every time. But I think we did good today. I think we definitely made progress. I feel like we made progress today and just learning something new. And for me, that's what it's about, guys. It's about learning and growing and being better than you were today and yesterday. That's what I try to do around here, is just be better than I was. I love you guys. Justice for Maddie. We're not done yet. Remember that. Jen Soto still needs to be what? Do we think she's going to get locked up? I don't know, but we can't let her just walk away from this like that. So we're going to keep doing what we do and concentrating on justice for Madeline Soto. I am going to cover this in probably sometime next week, guys. I really want to go over the prison and what happens there and where Stephan's going to be. So thank you. I'm glad this was a humbling episode for some of you. Others, hopefully you learned something. Love you guys. Carrie says, I am. I'm going to go get some potatoes now. Not rotten ones. Thank you, mods. Thank you, chat. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night. Love you. I'll see you next week. Be safe on your 3-day weekend. Love you. Keep shambling. Good night. Can we sue her in a civil suit? Get out of here. Good night, y'all. Love you. I'm
Guilty of crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime.
Are you guilty?